Hey everyone, it's Adrian from the Pageant Project with you, and my special guest for this evening, my time, this morning, UK time, is Layla Gordon, who is Miss Teen Galaxy UK. Layla, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How are you? I understand you've just come back from Paris.
Yeah, well, there's a massive delay on sleep because we actually had our flight cancelled. Sunday, we were supposed to come back Sunday, and we actually came back yesterday midday. So I was on about 4 hours sleep. So I'd say at the moment I'm just catching up. So it's all right. But I'd rather have no sleep in Paris than have no sleep here.
So how was Paris? I've never been to Paris, so you'll have to fill me in. Was it absolutely terrible and you never want to go back?
No, it was really good actually. I'd say it's more of like a food and drink place after you've seen everything. So just make sure you have loads of money for food and drink. And we were so lucky because we were there the same time as I'm not sure what it's called. Are you a basketball fan? Because I'm not.
Well, I know of basketball and I know some. I'm not a huge fan, but I don't know nothing either. I'm somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, there was like one of the biggest European tournaments like right opposite our hotel, and it would start at like 9 in the morning, and we actually saw I can't remember his name, but he's like top three basketballers in the world. And he literally walked straight past us, and me and Mum were like, "Who is that?" And then we got told after. You
So
just
you
tell we
missed
don't
your
know anything
chance.
about basketball. Yeah, we could have got a picture, but we just don't know who he was.
Well, I mean, you went to Paris and you've already mentioned food and
Yeah.
drink. So what did you discover any favorite French foods? Croissant, hot chocolate, coffee?
Um, to be honest, we didn't really explore many options. Like we weren't snail tasted and frog leg trying, like we were just kind of sticking to the basics because more than likely I'd probably throw up from it. So I didn't really want to put myself out there. I wasn't feeling adventurous.
How do you know if you've never tried?
Because I always save snails. Like I'm the person that will always pick them up and move them out of the way so they don't get stood on. So to be able to try one and eat one, I know for a fact, even if I liked it, it wouldn't do well with me.
Do you know a fun fact about snails and your sister queen Danielle?
um, I'm pretty sure she said this at the meetup. Doesn't she like pass out from the sound of them or something? Yeah,
Well,
she said
not
this
the
at the
sound
meetup.
of snails, because snails don't make a sound unless your snails are very different to our snails. But if she stepped on one, then she would pass out. Like she's
See, I didn't
completely
understand that.
phobic of them.
I
I
didn't, I
know.
didn't, I didn't even know that snails made a sound. So I'm pretty. She must be referring to the crack of the shell or something because
Yeah.
I don't know. But I don't know. I've
So
never stepped in a. I don't
I'm, I'm
think.
think, I'm thinking now it'd be really funny if you saved them in front of her, or if you were to eat one in front of her, she would probably pass out and then you would vomit. That would be quite
Yeah.
a scene. There's half of Team UK gone. So I could just wiped out by snails. So what? Why were you over in Paris? Were you over there for a holiday?
No, it was actually a present for my birthday last year, which was actually in November. But we were supposed to go in January, and COVID hit, and we couldn't go. So it got postponed to this month, and it was actually the week of my prom. So instead of going to prom,
Oh,
because I
wow.
wasn't actually going to go anyway, we went to Paris, and I took a prom dress. I don't know if you saw my Instagram. I took a
Yeah.
prom dress and I wore it in front of the Eiffel Tower. It was really cool.
Oh, yeah. I saw the caption. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
I think Paris more than prom, right? I mean,
yeah.
although I guess you only get one prom in your life, but if you don't have any, like, if it's not going to be a good time, then you might as well go to Paris.
Yeah. So I get another one in 2 years, so I'm not too disappointed. And I feel like because I'm a pageant girl, I'm always wearing the gowns anyway, so I haven't really missed out on that much.
No, no, you've probably worn prom dresses more times than anyone else in your school, so I don't think you're missing out. How's
Yeah.
your French?
Uh, I can say bonjour and mine je m'appelle Layla. I would say that's quite good. And I think how you say, when you say like could you say it again, please? It's like pardon. Is that the same? Is it? I
Yeah,
don't know.
pardon.
I think it is because I'm pretty sure that's a French word, right?
Well, yeah. Well, I don't know if it's French, but they obviously have their French accent on it. So where we'd say
Yeah.
pardon, they say pardon, and excuse me, they say excusez-moi, and then bonjour, and then do you know how to say goodbye?
Um. Au revoir. Au revoir.
There you go. Yep.
So you
Which
wouldn't think that I
literally,
learned French for 6 years in school, would you?
I learned French for 4 years. I can barely speak it, but yeah, au revoir. Do you know how to say how are you? Come on, you must have
Uh,
learned that in 6 years. Bonjour, and then you
no.
say, come on, Layla, you can do this.
I tested my French skills out here. No.
Ça va?
Ça
Bonjour?
va.
Yeah, ça va.
Oh, well, I would know
Layla,
because
are
you
you
said it to me
sure you took
yesterday.
French or you took Spanish or Chinese? Are you sure it was French if you didn't learn
Yeah,
ça va?
yeah, but I was never like the favorite because I could never put the accent on the words, and like we did Spanish as well, and I know you have to like roll your
Oh yeah,
tongue from
but that's
Spanish
that's
words.
an actual skill.
I'm
I
useless. I can't do
yeah,
it.
I can't do that. I mean, Vittoria here, I assume you know who Vittoria is over in Portugal. I think in Portuguese they roll their R's. I can't roll my R's. Danielle's also watching. I'll bring you up to date with the comments. Ralph over here is watching in the US. Danielle is watching, and then we started talking about snails. So she did these faces, and then she said they scream.
They
So
scream. I'm gonna search
apparently,
up after screaming snails, and I really hope no one sees my search history because that's a bit weird.
I don't know, but yeah, no, she's phobic of snails. Well, that was a nice random tangent that we got off to. Why don't we start with a more normal question, Layla? And why don't you tell everyone watching or listening how you got involved in the crazy world of pageantry?
So it was actually really, really random. I was actually sat with two friends who don't do pageants, and we were sat in the sauna. So we had
Mhm.
gym memberships, and we just never used to go to the gym. We used to go to the sauna instead, and say that we went to the gym because teenage girl things. And so one of my friends, they said something about pageants because we were all saying like what we wanted to do and like what hobbies we wanted to get involved in. And I was like, what is pageants? And you know how most people think, oh yeah, toilets and tiaras.
Yeah.
It wasn't me. That wasn't me. I literally the only thing I'd seen of pageants, which I didn't even know was a pageant, was the wrong crowning of Miss Universe. That was the only thing I'd
Or
seen, but I didn't know that was
the
actually a
Steve
pageant.
Harvey moment when he called out the wrong
Yeah,
person. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was the only thing I'd actually seen. And then I went home and I searched it up on YouTube and I found Misha Grimes' Vlog on Galaxy. And literally within like 5 minutes, I'd applied I think I applied for both Galaxy and Teen GB because I didn't know it was like one, you just do one kind of.
Mhm.
So then I got responses from both. And because I'd watched obviously the vlog on Galaxy and it was an internationals, I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm just going to do this. And I was a junior in 2020,
Mhm.
and I rocked on stage with my ASOS fashion wear and my cute little dress, and I didn't place, but I won the photogenic award. And after I knew that I was aging up into teen, so
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to do it because obviously this was still the time of swimwear too. And I got told like you should probably wait a few years because the teens who win are usually older. And then within like
Mhm.
a 4 months, I was applied for Teen Galaxy because I was like, you know what? I'm gonna challenge this. I want to challenge this and be the youngest Miss Teen Galaxy UK to date because I only aged into the category 3 days
Oh
before
wow.
the
Okay.
actual finals. So yeah, and then I guess my Galaxy journey just started from there.
What age, remind me, because we don't have the younger age divisions in Australia. What age do you get? What age do you age up to in teen?
I'm pretty sure it's 16 now because I knew it used to be 15, but it's been changed to 16 to 19. I'm pretty sure.
Right. Okay. So you started in 2020, right?
Yeah,
And so, I mean, look, it's been a weird 2020 to now. It's hardly been normal years, especially in
yeah.
pageantry. But how do you feel you've changed over those 2 years?
I would say that I've become a lot more independent, and I'm someone that I can go out by myself now, because before I'd always used to like want to make plans with friends. I would never want to leave my house by
Mm.
myself. And although I barely leave my house now, I'm more open to going out by myself, and like I don't know why. I guess I just had like a phobia of just being alone all the time, but now I've learned to enjoy my own presence, which I think is really good.
Yeah, and that's super important. I mean, you say you barely left your house. You only just got back from Paris. So what are you talking about? Unless your house is in Paris.
Yeah, but I'm not like I don't. I feel like a lot of people my age go out most days, especially when it's really hot. But I'm just always in my room, just binging YouTube. You know, the casual.
What sort of things do you binge on YouTube? Please don't tell me it's slime videos or ASMR or some rubbish like that.
No, I've never really understood those. I mean, like
Neither have
I
I.
like the pimple popping ones.
Oh, God's
Like it's
sakes.
really weird, and I hate it. It cringes me out, but I do like it a lot. But no, I don't.
It-
I don't binge watch those.
Can
I watch
you
those
can
on
you
TikTok.
explain that? So it creeps you out, you hate it, but you watch it anyway. Why just not watch it?
I don't know. I think it's quite aesthetically pleasing. That's the right word. I don't know. I think it's quite cool to see the transformation, and I'm like one of those people. I like seeing the before and after. So when they show like the
Oh,
results after as well, I think it's really cool. Are you not
I'm
a
just
fan?
imagining slime and pus everywhere. It's just a terrible look. I'm going to bring up a photo. So I was giving you an Instagram stalk, and I just want to ask you about this photo. If you can see this, can you see this?
Yeah,
Okay. So are you the tallest member of Team UK? Because you look like you are already.
yeah. I actually am. I'm 5'10".
Oh wow. Okay. Are you still
Yeah,
growing now?
yeah. I mean, I when I competed for the finals, I was 5'8". So I've grown 2 inches in like half a year. It's really good. I've got like a little inside joke with Harry. I'm like, as soon as I'm taller than Harry, I'm gonna say in my interview, my fun fact is I'm taller than Harriet Lane.
How, so you're still, oh, but at your age, you might be stopping growing. Do you have any guess as to how tall you're going to end up being?
Well, I know you can have those like scans when you're younger,
Yeah.
that tell you how tall you're gonna be, and they said 5'11", but I reckon maybe like 5'11". I don't think I'll hit 6 foot. I'm not. I don't think I'll hit 6 foot, but I think I'll be like on the verge.
I'm afraid to say if you don't hit 6 foot, you're not going to be taller than Harriet.
To be fair, the height difference is like she's maybe like here. She's only a tiny bit taller than me now.
I think she's 6 in flats. So if you're
Yeah.
5'10", and let's say you
So
top out at 5'11", you would just be 1 inch shorter than her, but you
yeah,
will still be shorter than her.
it's right. No one will know if we're not standing directly next to each other.
I will. And you'll still be shorter than me. That's all that I care about. As long as
How
you're
tall are
not
you?
taller than I'm 6'1", so I'm taller than Harry,
Oh, okay. So
and I'm
you're
very
just
happy
you're
about that.
above by an inch.
Yes, except when she wears 4-inch heels, but that's cheating. So, but I'm very pageant land is a beautiful place to be tall in. I can tell you that. I've never been
Yeah.
so. I don't know if it's the same for you, because sometimes when you're young and you're female and you're tall, you can feel a little bit awkward. But
Yeah,
as a
that
guy,
used
it's
to always
great.
be me. I used to hate
Yeah.
my height so much, and then when I joined pageants, it was more like I feel like it's more like not an advantage, but I feel like it's like a unique factor because now I really like being tall. Like I want to be taller.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind being like 6 foot.
Well, there you go. I'll share my secret recipes with you to get you that last inch.
Just drink loads of
I
milk, isn't it? I think that's the way it is.
maybe as long as you're
It's
not
annoying.
lactose
That's why I stopped drinking
intolerant.
milk when I was younger.
Oh, well, you see, you could have been 6 foot if you better after this. You better go and drink a carton of milk. You got some
Yeah,
catching up to do. Just drink a carton of milk every day until Texas. You'll be 6 foot by the time we get to Texas.
yeah.
Um, Danielle was saying, "Eat your greens, Layla, and you'll make it." So you have a choice to make, Layla. Either follow my advice and drink a carton of milk, or follow Danielle's advice and eat lots of greens. It's up to you, whichever way you want to go. I will say Danielle's like 5'6", So you can choose who to listen to in terms of what it takes to grow tall. I'm kidding, Danielle. Hope you're doing well. Now, let me show you this photo. Can I show you this one here? How will this work? No, this one
Oh,
here. Can you see that one?
yeah, I can.
Okay, what was going through your mind at this exact moment in time?
Well, I don't know if you know about the little backstory behind this, but basically my fashion wear, I'm not sure if you've seen my fashion wear, but it was blue and
Mm,
originally it had a cape on it.
yeah,
And funny enough, so I found Galaxy through Misha Grimes, and as I was walking through the audience, it got stuck on Misha Grimes's mum or Misha Grimes's chair.
yeah.
So the cape ripped off, and we were by the side of the stage of Nancy Hodgson, and she was trying to put it back, and I was like, Nancy, it's fine, just leave it, just leave it. And I was freaking out, and then my mum was like, just calm down, go on stage. And so I just kind of winged it. And after that, in the interval, I was stressed, and I was like, oh god, I think I did awful. I think I was like looking like I was crying on stage, and yeah, so it was kind of like a big shock because I thought I did so well, obviously with the whole cape situation, and then I thought I just wasn't smiling.
Didn't you win best in fashion wear though?
Yeah, and it was my highest scoring round out of the three as well, which is very bad. But
Did you?
I feel like he made it more of a shock
Well,
because of that.
that does look like the look you have on your face right now. It looks like you've forgot to turn the stove off. That look on your face.
Forgot to tell this though. Yeah, it was. I remember getting the pictures back, and I was like, "Oh god."
What were the because with Galaxy they tend to announce the first runner up, right? So
Yeah.
if your name's not called out, then you've won. So what were you thinking? Do you remember what you were thinking at the exact moment when they didn't call your name out, which meant that you were now Miss Teen Galaxy UK?
I feel like I don't think that much at the time. I don't. That sounds really weird, but I feel like you don't even think about it. Like I was just standing there, like you can see in the video. I was like, "What?" And I was saying to my mum because my mum and my dad were in the audience, and then that was obviously that moment where I ran over to them, and I was like, "What?" So I don't. I feel like in the moment I didn't really think about it. I felt like my mind just went
Mm.
blank, and then it was the awkward moment where after they were like, "Take your first walk," and I didn't hear them say, "Take your first walk." And Holly was like pointing to the stage, and I thought she was opening her arms out for a hug. So I ran over to Holly, and it looked like I was gonna knock her over because I just went running over to her. She was like, "Go take your first walk."
And
It was
so
a
a
really funny
pageant,
moment.
so a pageant queen is born. How long did it take to sink in then? So obviously you were in some amount of like disbelief. How
Yeah.
long did it actually take to sink in the fact that you'd won?
Um, I feel like maybe a few days. It was like at first it was like, oh my god, I just won, and then after a few days it was like, oh my god, I've just won Miss Teen Galaxy UK. So I feel like it's something that you realize, but then you're like, oh my gosh, you don't realize how big it is until a few
Mm,
days after. But yeah, because of being around the pageant girls, and then you get home and you're just kind of like by yourself. So I was
yeah.
like, oh my god.
Well, we're going to be heading to Texas. I'm looking at the date now in like just over under 3 weeks now. Jeez.
Yeah,
So how are you feeling? It's another competition. You're already Miss Teen UK Galaxy, and then in
yeah.
three or so weeks you get to represent your country on the international stage. How are you feeling about that?
Honestly, I feel like I'm really ready for it. I feel like my goal was just to be 100% ready in myself with not just outfits, but with my on stage, with my interview, with like mindset. So that's something like I'm more focused on this month. So gonna start
Mhm.
doing like the meditation and the Pilates classes.
Yeah,
I kept saying
like yoga.
Pilates, and my mum was like, "That's
No,
not how you say it."
not plate. It's not plates. It's not pilates. It's Pilates. You can call it
Yeah,
pilates if you want. Maybe that's your unique way of doing it. I'm doing pilates, not Pilates, pilates.
yeah. It's more like it's more like mindset focused now because I've got all my outfits ordered. The only one I actually have with me is my fashion wear, but everything's
Hmm,
ordered. So we're just
okay.
sitting and praying now that everything turns up on time and it will be all good.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure it will be fine, he says. Let me ask you, because I saw your bio and you have a lot of interesting things that you're advocating for, that you're passionate about.
Yeah,
Obviously, every girl there is going to, be working on her fashion, her walk, and all that sort of thing. But I think it's very unusual what you've chosen to advocate for and a bit about your story as to, I
yeah,
saw something about knives in there. So why don't you
yeah.
tell us about that? Because I think that's really interesting.
Yeah, so my platform I've decided to advocate for is based around knife crime in youth. So in the lead up to UK Galaxy, I was actually fundraising for a man called Kimbo Stevens, which is a Ugandan-based street children charity. So I was able to raise over £1,500 to them.
Wow.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, and I held my own sleep out in October where I got people involved in my sponsor as well. We slept in the office and we raised 300 £300 from that, something like that along the lines. But then I was always advocating for knife crime. So I reached out to a man called Farron Alex Paul and I've been fundraising for him because it's more based on charity work than anything. So I've been fundraising for him, and basically what he does is in London, he collects knives from the streets and exchanges them for £20 vouchers. So if you
Right.
hand in a knife, you get a voucher in exchange. So it's basically just to be taking more knives off of the street. And his end goal with this is to make them into gym equipment for a youth free gym.
That's amazing, Layla, and well done on the fundraising. I think it's just important. So, for example, £1,500, because obviously we've got the Aussies going over and the Americans. That would be roughly 3,000, probably Australian dollars, and maybe about
Yeah,
2,000 something American. So that's amazing. Well done with that.
thank you.
Can I ask? I mean, knife crime, knife violence is. I remember watching self-defense instructors say the best way to survive a knife fight is to not get in one because they're
Yeah.
brutal, they're absolutely terrible things. What I don't know if the right word is interested, but what got you into that sort of choosing to advocate for that? Because a lot of other people are advocating for a lot of other things that are worthwhile, mental health, for example, women's empowerment.
Yeah.
Why knives? Why knife crime?
So I actually used to live in an area called Crawley, and it's very normalised for teenagers to be carrying knives. I
Right.
know that I'd be out about in the streets, and there'd probably be like no time where I'd see someone with a knife. So it was very common, and it was very often as well. Um, and my brother was actually around, I think he was 17, and he actually got chased by a knife. And he had to hide in my nan's back garden because he was being chased by a group of boys. So it
Yeah.
was something that, especially with no one in the UK talking about it, I'm not sure if anyone anywhere else in pageantry actually speaks about it, but I know in the UK it's not a very spoken topic, especially in pageantry. So with like the whole story of the background behind it, I knew it was something that I wanted to advocate for and speak about because it's not just an issue in the UK; it's an issue
Hmm.
worldwide.
And are they carrying around knives like as a status symbol to show, I assume it's mainly men doing it. I could be wrong,
Yeah.
but are they carrying it around to show, what a man they are and to try and threaten other people?
Honestly, I'm not too sure. I feel like it was more like threat, so I'd assume so. It was
Mm,
more like trying to show that you're kind of something with a knife. I feel like, but then it'd be that person where you get involved in the wrong group and then you felt like you needed to carry a knife because of like your own um self defense, you like to try and defend yourself, which obviously isn't necessary. But I feel like it got to a point like that, and then everyone just started carrying knives. Like I know I saw a 12-year-old once carrying a knife. Like it's
wow.
so crazy.
Is it more of a problem in certain parts of the UK or London, or is it fairly widespread?
Um, I would say it's very widespread, but it's not an unknown fact that in London, especially Croydon area, that it's a very popular subject, especially because that's more like the gang related areas. I'm not too sure if Crawley has gangs, but I just know that it was just more because it was so close to Croydon. People from Croydon would move down to Crawley, and then it kind of stemmed them from
Right.
there, I guess.
Right. So, if in 3 weeks' time, roughly speaking, you were lucky enough to have the international crown placed on
Yeah.
your head, what sort of plans do you have with it? What would you like to do? What would you like to achieve?
So something that I've really aimed for is getting self-defense taught in schools. So I've been to local self-defense classes in my area, and it's something that I want to spread across the UK. But of course, with an international title, I'd want to
Mm.
take it worldwide. But I start from the UK, and even go to House of Parliament to speak about it, because I feel like just knowing how to defend yourself and get away from a situation like that would prevent a lot of lives from being taken. But also with Kikembo, my goal is to actually be able to go and volunteer abroad in South Africa. I actually want to travel with a volunteer group and go and volunteer in a school over there for, I think it's around 6 weeks.
Okay.
Um, yeah, that's one of my main goals. It wasn't something that I was able to do before internationals because I've been doing my GCSEs. So it's a
Yeah.
goal before I hand over, really.
Well, when it comes to South Africa, knife violence is definitely an
Yeah,
issue. South Africa
yeah,
is one of I just interviewed a South African queen recently, and she said South Africa and Venezuela. She was in the Miss Grand system, and she represented South Africa at Miss Grand when it was held in Venezuela. And she said those are two of the most dangerous countries in the world. So,
yeah,
what you're advocating for would definitely be an issue over there.
yeah,
Um, how are you feeling? I mean, we're so close to leaving. Are there
yeah.
any nerves at all, or you're just feeling super excited?
I think I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit nervous. I feel like everyone's nervous whether they admit it or not, but I feel like just trying to get myself the most prepared that I can before internationals is the main goal. But yeah, I feel like I am more excited than nervous, just because it's kind of, I'm one of those people that I get more nervous when I'm actually there than the
Yeah.
lead up. But then it'll be like moments before the interview that I'll be really nervous. But then I'm more like, if I remember for UK, I wasn't nervous going on stage. It was just my interview.
How was your interview? If you were nervous for it, did you then smash it out of the park, or do you not remember any of it? It's like traumatic, and you blocked it out of your memory.
I felt like it went all right. It wasn't my like highest scoring round,
Mhm.
but it was something that I knew I needed to work on more than anything, because it's the one that's like the uncontrollable round. Like you can kind of
Yeah.
plan what you're gonna do on stage, unless you fall over. But for interview, it's like you don't know what they're gonna ask you, so the only thing you can do is just be prepared. So I was just getting more like training and just working on my interview more, because I knew that was kind of like my more weak spot.
Well, let's not mention people falling over. Let's, let's hope that doesn't happen. Have you had a chance to meet any? I mean, obviously, Team UK. Have you had a chance to meet any of the queens from other countries who are going over as well?
I've met Team Galaxy Island.
Hmm.
Um, that might be the only person I've met, because I feel like everyone's just across the world.
Yeah,
I met the Thailand girls and in Indonesia. I think I'm
India.
not too sure. I know
I
they're
know
like
there's
from the
some
same
Indian girls
family.
going over. Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know they're from the same family, and I met them before I won. I met them at Miss GB, so I feel like they're the only three that I've actually seen, and then everyone else is just like world spread, really.
Yeah, well, you'll be meeting them before long, that's for sure. Um, what are you most looking forward to when it comes to the international competition?
Um, I feel like obviously like the Texas food. I'm a massive foodie. Like I can't wait to be going out to like the Texas restaurants in like the evening with the girls, and like just getting to know everyone, especially after so long. Like there hasn't been like the proper big finals since 2019. I think it was
Hmm.
since 2019. So there hasn't been a
Yeah.
massive final since then. So just meeting everyone for the first time, and I'm really looking forward to the white party as well. And that's going to be really fun. I mean,
What
I'm not a big
Texan?
dancer, but we'll
Oh,
give
well,
it a go.
that makes two of us. We can just be tall, awkward people standing in the corner or standing right in the middle, whichever one works. Is there
Yeah.
any Texan food in particular that you're looking forward to?
Um, I feel like it is like Texas ribs, right? Barbecue ribs. That is from Texas. I don't know if it's just
Barbecue
the
is a
name. That
no, no,
is
no.
originally
Yeah,
Texas, right? Yeah, yeah. I'm
yeah.
looking forward to that. I'm a very messy eater, so maybe that's not a plan to go with all the girls because I would embarrass myself by eating and then. But I definitely want to try that, and I feel like the portions in America are so much bigger. So
Hmm.
I'm definitely. I don't know if Deliveroo is a big thing in America, but I'm getting a McDonald's delivery, and it's gonna be good.
They'll have something. They'll have Uber
Yeah.
Eats or something. So, so let me just ask you this now. So when you are eating your ribs and you have the sauce all over your face because you're a messy eater, am I allowed to take a photo of you? Yes or no?
Yeah, yeah.
All
You
right.
can
Well,
post it
you
as my
said
hand
yes.
over picture, but it can't be posted before then. Or my birthday.
Okay.
That's the only tolerable time that you can post a mug of me.
I'll put your photo on a mug and we'll send it around when it comes to your birthday. Your hand over, just a picture of you holding a massive rib up. Let
Oh
me just have a
no.
look at the comments here. Danielle says, "I knew you was going to say food." Ah, Danielle, I've missed your Cockney. I knew you were going to say food. I knew you was going to say food. You can do your weird elbow dance, Layla. What?
Oh, this one. It's a TikTok dance.
Do
Have you
that
not seen
again.
it?
Do that again.
See, my dad and my mum are getting so annoyed with me doing it because anytime they'll say something, I'll just start going this.
I feel their pain. You look like you're just holding a flower basket. What is it? How is this a dance? If that's a dance, then I'm a member of the Bolshoi Ballet. How is this a dance? What, what?
It's like this the pop to side. It's really cool. You need to watch it on TikTok. I'm gonna send you a video of it because it does look really good. I feel like maybe I'm just making the dance look embarrassing, but
Hey, look, I will say your TikTok video where you had Danielle listening to the song in the background, that is the best TikTok video I've ever seen because the facial expressions of Danielle's pulling, she's like this, and then she's like, and then she's like this, and then Bethany comes in from the side. That was hilarious. I saved that and I just watch it whenever I'm sad because it's so funny. So if you can, you were saying that you don't finish your TikTok videos, but that one, that's enough.
that
I'm
is the
happy
best
with that.
one. It's because
Absolutely.
my volume on my phone's so broken. Like at the moment,
Yeah.
I'm having to like listen out so hard, even though it's on full volume. But
Yeah.
because it's broken, she was like in the background, and obviously I was getting her in it, and then she was like, What is this song?" But she didn't even know
Yeah.
the songs anyway, even when she did hear them. So
She
Danielle,
did say no. She
you're not a
said she
true
knew the
Taylor Swift
songs.
fan.
Well, she said she knew the songs.
Yeah,
We'll
she said
find
that
out.
she knew
I
the
don't
Taylor
know.
Swift song, but I think we've
But
caught her out.
if she couldn't hear it, how come Bethany could hear it?
Yeah, I think it's her excuse. I think we've caught her out here.
Well, hang on. So now Danielle was saying you're missing the tongue. What does that mean?
Missing the tongue. Oh. And that's what I always do when I do the dance. I'm so used to it, and like anytime something goes wrong, I'll just be like,
Okay, I'm going to take that freeze frame from when you had your tongue stuck out, and I'm going to put that on a mug because
oh,
that would just be perfect. Miss Teen Galaxy UK with her tongue poking out.
oh
Um,
no. The
Danielle has
youth of
said the
today.
youth of today. Look, see, she says, I did know the song. I couldn't hear it on your broken phone. I know that's what Danielle, that's what you told me. But then my question
Yeah,
is, how come Bethany could hear it? Because she was singing along to it.
yeah. Danielle, we've caught you out.
Well, the only explanation is that Bethany's hearing is better than Danielle's.
Maybe. It could be.
Maybe.
But Danielle's got no excuse. She's still quite young, so.
Not as young as Bethany.
True.
I'm going to get a
I think
slap
we
from
caught her
Danielle when
out.
she sees me. Oh dear. All right. Well, what's that dance called? It's not going to be called the tongue dance. That sounds terrible. The elbow. What do you call it? Is it your? It's not your dance. It's a fad. Is it? It's a
It's
TikTok
officially my
trend.
dance, yeah.
What song does it
No,
go to?
I'm not too sure. I don't think it actually has a name. It's just like kind of just bopping side to side, like, you know, getting the jig on. It's just, I don't think it actually has a proper name.
Is this dance going to be
It's just,
shown at the white party?
maybe. I'll probably we'll get Team UK to all go together and we'll all do it together.
Or you need to turn the music up so that Danielle can hear it. So, as she said, I am older. Hearing is going well. Danielle, that makes two of us, doesn't it? Layla, just before we move to the close, is there anyone you would like to give a shout out to for supporting you in your journey?
Oh, I feel like I'll end up forgetting loads of people here. This is putting me under pressure. I'm going to stick to the basics. I'm just going to generalize and say anyone who supported me through my journey, which they'll know who they are, and my family and Team UK, because otherwise I will forget names. So I am that person.
No, that's exactly how you should do it, because if you put, everyone will forget someone. You might want to.
Yeah, and then I'll get an angry message, and it's just better to generalize, isn't
it? Thank your director.
Oh yeah, but she's part of Team UK.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Good catch. All right, let's go through to the final 10. And these are just random questions. There is no right or wrong, so please don't be like everyone else recently and start freaking out they can't work out any answers. I don't know why people have been freaking out recently, but must be something in the stars. Question 1. What is your favorite word?
I would say we. It's gonna sound really strange, but you know when like the Scottish and Irish girls always say like we go, and like things like that. I remember Olivia McPike, she always used to say it, and I'd be like, can you say that again? I don't know, it's like my weird word fantasization.
Fetish.
Fetish.
You have
one.
So you get Olivia to, well, to be fair, you're not the only one who loves Olivia's accent. I do love Olivia's accent too.
I just love the whole accents, but like that one word in particular, it's just I love it.
When I interviewed Olivia for the first time, I think I had 3 separate people message me, not about the interview, it was just like, oh my God, I love her accent.
Yeah,
I've never had anyone love anyone's accent, but she had 3 separate. You brought up accents, but you said the whole Teen UK Galaxy accent thing is a thing. So can you do any accent impersonations?
No, I'm not really an accent person. I feel like I'll end up doing one and then it just will sound so off. Ooh. The only one I always used to do is, I'm not going to do it, but the only one I always used to do is like the American accents. I feel like everyone always used to do that because for some reason, you know, when we used to play with like the Barbies or the Monster High girls, we'd always put on the American accents. So I feel like I've mastered that one.
What's Bethany doing? I remember Ellie Corcoran was trying to do an Australian accent. She was actually pretty good at that. Did Bethany do an accent?
I thought
Yes. Bethany was copying Dion Robertson. Is it Dion?
Yeah.
She does she really does a really scary. She had to do that to Dion, which I thought was really, really funny.
I feel like everyone does that one now, but I can't really do like a northern accent. I think she's northern. I'm not too sure. I can't do the northern accents. Like the only thing I can really say is like water.
Now you just sound Australian. That sounds like an Australian impersonation.
I can only do the Australian one word.
Can you say crikey?
No.
I take that as a no. Your face is that. Can you do an impersonation of Danielle?
I feel like me and Danielle sound, no, we probably don't. She's a bit more like London than me. No, but you honestly, the next time you get Danielle on, you need to get her to do her Welsh accent. Because we always.
No. Yeah, I know. No, I know that
As
one.
if
She
you're
she
supposed to have a
literally
hot
sounds
clothes as well.
she sounds like Emma Jenkins. When
Yeah,
I get her to do her Welsh accent, I don't need Emma Jenkins. I just can have her.
just need
And
Danielle.
she, yeah. Well, that's why
Yeah.
she's useful as a podcast co-host. Okay, that was question one. That took a long time. Question two: what is your least favorite word?
Oh, my least favorite word. I felt the only thing that really cringes me out, and it's not even because of the word, it's just because of the thought, is spider. And every time anyone says it, it just gives me the shakes because I'm not sure about you. Well, you live in Australia, right? So it's very popular with spiders. I'm not sure if you've realised recently, but I think spiders are getting very, very confident recently. Usually people say that they run the opposite way, but
Mm,
recently they've been running towards me. I remember I was having a
yeah.
standoff with one in my bathroom, and like I'm not someone
Mm,
that will kill it. I don't like killing
mm,
insects. I can't do it. Like
mm.
I literally slept outside of my room for 3 days because there was a spider literally right above that clothes rack over there, and it was huge. It was actually massive. And I slept outside of my room, but yeah, they're getting really confident. One ran towards me and I ran out. Like they're just really scary now. I'm not a fan.
I'm just going to put it out there now because I will be at International Galaxy. Girls, if any of you have a spider in your room, don't come to me looking to deal with it. You guys are on your own. You're all like, spider.
You should
There
be
are,
used to it as well, though.
I am, and I don't like killing them either. Spiders are actually really important for the ecosystem, so I ain't killing it.
So what do you do then? Do you just get it out?
Yeah,
So yeah,
pick it
so
up
we'll be
and
coming to you. If you're not scared of getting them out, we're gonna come to you.
well, no, but I want to see you girls fend for yourselves. You're all queens. You can deal with it, right? You don't need me. It's like, get the Australian. There's a spider. Get the Australian. It's like, no. Well, there's Team Australia as well. Get one of the Australian team to deal with it. I'm sure that would be fine. All right. Question three. In life, what gets you excited?
Uh, that is a really good question. I mean, I could go to the basic and just say food, I guess. Or I feel like the best feeling is when mum and dad buy me clothes. Because like I recently I got a job and I've learned that it's not great splashing out on clothes. I remember last year I got my first wage and I spent all of it on clothes that I didn't end up wearing. Not
Yeah.
great. So I feel like it's a better feeling when someone else is buying.
Well, now you know how it feels to earn money and then have it all spent very, very quickly. Okay, so that was question three. What gets you excited? What turns you on? Question four, then it's what turns you off.
Um, I don't think there's anything like in particular, but maybe like mash, like the
Potato.
sight mash, yeah, mashed potato. Anytime I see that, it just oh, and tomatoes as well. Tomatoes scare me. Like I'm terrified of them.
I don't, I don't understand you guys. You're exactly like Olivia McPike. She hates Smash. Then you're terrified of
Yeah,
tomatoes, but you're okay with picking up snails, and you love watching pimple popping. But
yeah, because
these,
it's different. It's like insects and pimples. But when it
you know
comes
what?
to like
I,
food on a plate, like it just oh.
well, if you pop a tomato, it kind of looks like a pimple popping.
Have you been popping tomatoes?
Well, you get the little cherry tomatoes, right? The little mini ones, and if you pop it, it will burst and then squirt out just like a pimple.
I don't think I've ever done that.
Give it a go.
Yeah, maybe. If I'm not too scared.
I'll do one in front of you in Texas.
Okay, you can do it and I'll
Quest-
watch.
okay, you have to eat it though.
Maybe don't do it.
Question five: what sound or noise do you love?
My cat's purring is probably my favorite, and I recently learned that it's actually when you watch like those videos on YouTube, like the manifestation ones.
Mhm.
I'm not sure what it's called, like the VHS Z.
The frequency, the
Yeah,
hertz.
that.
Yeah.
The frequency sounds. Apparently, it's actually one of those, so it's like really good for you, for your body or something. I'm not too sure, but
Yeah.
that because my cat literally would just sit on the side of my head. I'm not sure if you've seen my cats, but I've got hairless cats.
Oh no. Oh. They're the ones that look like chickens that have been skinned. They look like turkeys and the giant.
No,
Oh no! What are they? Are
no,
they
not like
Cornish
Cleo.
Rex? Is that what they are? What's the breed? Is it a Cornish
A
Rex?
sphinx. A
Oh, uh,
Did you say a Shreks?
no, a Cornish Rex. I couldn't remember
Cornish
what they're
Rex.
called. But they look like
Cornish.
chickens going around that have been plucked. Oh. But
No.
the purring, yeah, I don't quite know how they figure this out, but the frequency of a cat's purr actually is very good for its own healing. It helps the
Yeah,
cat sort of regenerate. So yeah, if you can
it is a
sleep
good
next to
noise.
a
I really
cat,
like it.
it's really soothing as well. But we
It
can
is.
agree on that one. Question 6. What sound or noise do you hate?
Mm, Probably my dog's barking. I'm surprised they haven't while I've been on the interview, to be fair. But my dogs, I'm not sure. Do you have dogs? No. See, my dogs will literally sit and just bark at the door when no one's there. And the thing is, they act like they're these massive dogs. They're pugs as well. So it's not even like they do anything. So it's just, they're just constantly barking, but they do nothing.
You have pugs and a sphinx.
Yeah.
Oh my God. If I was ever
They're
at your house and I went to sleep and then I woke up with any of those animals like looking at me, I'd scream.
Yeah, but the pugs are very ugly. To be fair, I think pugs aren't very attractive at all.
You
But
know
the
when
sphinxes are.
you know
I think they so are.
you know when pugs sneeze, their eyeballs can come out
Huh?
because their face is so smushed up that if they sneeze or they get smacked on the back of their head, their eyeballs can pop out, and then you got to put them back in. It's terrible. I'm not condoning this. I'm not saying, by the way, go and make your dog sneeze or slap it on the back of their head, but the pugs, because of the way the face is, and the eyeballs slightly come out of the skull, if they sneeze really hard, their eyeballs can just pop out.
Oh, I've never seen that. That's never happened to mine.
Yeah, well, I hope it doesn't happen to you, but fun fact. It just so you know, for people watching at home. Let's move on from the gross facts. Question 7. If you could have any one superpower, what would you pick and why?
I would say teleportation. I feel like you're just going on holiday for free, and it's like you wouldn't even have to pay for a hotel room because you just teleport into the room, and then if anyone's coming, you teleport into another one. That's free. So it's quite good. I think it's really good. And I've got like a thing where if clouds weren't transparent, like going and having a picnic on the clouds, and like you just be able to teleport there. Like it would be so sick.
It certainly would be sick. Basically, you want to teleport so you don't have to pay for anything, is by the sounds
Yeah,
of it.
it's like free travel. If you want to travel the world, what's a better superpower than that?
Yeah, well, I'd like to fly, but then I really love flying. But teleportation would work as well.
Oh, but
So
then what if like you run out of energy and then your flight stops?
you're asking me what happens if I run out of energy. You're the girl who wants to have a picnic on a cloud. I mean, either or, I think we're both going to have problems, and I'll deal with it when it happens. That's a problem for future me. Uh, let's move on. Question 8. What job would you like to attempt?
If I was to do anything, oh, I'm not too sure. There's like jobs that I'd want to do, but like I wouldn't.
What
um,
job would you like to do?
I'd want to be like an actor, but like I would never do it. But like I'd love to be an actor and like go to like the red carpet events, and it's more like not for the actual acting, just for the things that you get to go to. That's why I wouldn't do it, because I'm not doing it for the job. I'm just doing it for the side bits.
So you want to be on the red carpet?
Yeah.
Yeah, that that's a hard life. Well, I mean, if you do well enough in pageantry, you never know. You could get invited to all the red carpet events.
Yeah, I could be the
Girl can hope.
presenter.
Yes,
I
you could
don't
be the
know if
red
you saw
carpet
that
presenter.
girl who presented at the what was the most recent one? The Met Gala.
Well, yeah, that was
Yeah, there
relatively
was a
recent.
pageant girl who was presenting there, and she actually got told that she blew up online because she actually had the best outfit of the theme. Because obviously, like a lot of people went off theme, so everyone was blowing her up and said that she had a better outfit than the people actually going, and she was actually a pageant girl.
Okay, well, there you go. That's your ticket into that industry then.
Yeah.
Question 9. What job would you definitely not like to attempt?
I think anything to do with like insects, like small things. Like I don't know, like there's also like those ghost people. We have to go around the houses and detect if there's a ghost in the house. No. Like
If I
it's
believed in
not like
such things.
Ghostbusters. It's not like a film.
No, I know.
Like it actually is. I'm pretty sure it is a job. Like it's in America. I'm pretty sure.
There's a lot of things that are in America, and they will stay in America because the rest of the world is not crazy enough for it. But I mean, if that properly happened, like I've been to some haunted houses and things like that. It's not a nice. It's
I
really
don't know
not
if
a
you've
nice.
watched videos on it, like the ghost hunting videos on YouTube. I've watched some of those, and I can't sit through them. They just scare me. And like I'm not a horror person. I'm not like a horror film person either. Like it just cringes me out. I can't do it.
Better than watching pimples popping.
I'd rather watch the pimples popping to be there.
Oh dear God. All right, Layla, final question. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
That's a hard question. Well, it'd be either between. By the way, you've got the biggest house here with a walk-in wardrobe, because I feel like if I'm going to heaven, like I want a massive house. But there's also, I'm not sure if you're like a motivation video watcher. If you are. Have you seen the video of Denzel Washington? And he basically speaks about making the most of your life. Because if you were to go to meet God and he shows you like a list of things that you should have done and you hadn't achieved, like I've watched that video so many times, and it's more like if I was to meet God, I'd want him to say that I've done everything on the list.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Very, very nice. Okay. Well, Layla, that's about it. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I feel like I was more nervous for this than my actual interview for Galaxy.
I don't know why people get nervous jumping on. Danielle has said, new fear unlocked, pug popping eyeballs. I'm surprised you didn't know that, Danielle. Yeah, if you slap them on the back of the head, their eyeballs can just come out. And ha ha ha, Ghostbuster. Well, Danielle, thank you for watching. Layla, I will keep you on the line for just a sec whilst I hang up with the audience. But thanks everyone for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye for now. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Sorority Access is now open, so if you'd like to join an amazing group of women and learn how to be the most powerful, confident, and impactful queen possible, head to thepageantsorority.com. I'll see you there and see you in the next video.